Mine and my co-founder, both our background is in consulting. So I spent about 15 years before starting this. Also, we had to pivot multiple products and, we had to diversify. I think only thing what was constant was like, our perseverance and,
Was that a challenge that you faced that when you went and spoke to clients outside in the US market or Europe market?
I think that challenge we found more in India. Like India, people look for more of experience because I think the acceptance in US for a startup or the idea or the new services per se, it's more.
We also see it on our platform because IT companies, freelancers, looking for not just small corporations, but we see some of these customers when we talk to them, they even get payments from Sony. What advice would you give to anyone who's starting up today in the Gen AI world, wanting to build products for the world out there?
Everyone's betting on AI getting smarter.
Generative AI has unlocked everything from code writing to philosophical reasoning.
Tell me about your first customer. How did you end up getting the first customer outside India? Yeah, who it was? Maybe not exactly the full details, but how did you go about getting the first customer? Hey Alex, good evening. Thanks a lot for coming to EximPe office. And thank you very much for being part of our first, I would say our first podcast, our first live interview face to face with a customer. Now we've got thousands of customers on a platform, but you are Alex, the first guy come to our office, and thank you very much for doing that. Alex, I would say that people generally say that tech sector is a very small place, and really that's the case for all who are watching this video. That Lax and I met almost 11 years ago.
11 years now.
In one of the earliest co-working spaces in Bangalore called Tech Hub, which used to be near Christ College, and I was running my previous startup, and I think Lax was still working out. We both were in adjacent places, both small teams. And today, I could have never ever imagined in my life that a decade later, I will be interviewing you for my second startup and you're using a product. In fact, I actually also only got to know that you were using EximPe after Deepak, who's part of my team, I think met you.
Right.
And he came back and said that you know him. I'm like, really? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, Tech Hub days. So it's really a small world, smaller in Bangalore, I would say. And again, thank you very much. So how did this journey happen?
Okay. Yeah. First of all, thanks for the introduction and having me here. And even it was my honor as well, because I think you have the second startup for you.
Yeah.
But I'm still in my first startup, but
doing pretty well.
completed
Yeah.
10 years now, 1 decade. Yeah. So the journey has been fantastic. Though it was not we had to go through COVID times and we had all those challenges in these 10 years, whatever I say. And also we had to pivot multiple products and, we had to diversify. I think only thing what was constant was our perseverance and, to see to it that we are successful and, to see to it that the team who I'm building, because I believe in team actually. So I had a solid team. So I always believed that sometime or the other, some idea or something else. So with the team what I had, I can be always, the success is maybe around the way.
So what segment did you start with, and then how did you get
Yeah,
up to that?
so we started with the digitalization space. So mainly in the retail, the digitizing retail, the paper receipts. What we thought was back in 2015, we see that there are supermarkets everywhere. Everyone printing, the receipts.
This is pre-UPI era, by the way.
Yeah.
Pre-demonetization as well. Pre-demonetization.
So they were print their receipts everywhere. We thought maybe having a solution around that to digitize it. One is you could save money for the retailers. Second thing is you could do a lot of analytics around that. Could be analytics for the consumers as well as for the shop owners. So that's how we started. We thought that is a good idea, great idea, and that's how everything starts, right? You believe in an idea, because you can't say that there's nothing guaranteed, right? So the idea was good. We pitched to some friends and to investors as well. Everyone said, yeah, great idea. But I think one of the mistake was the monetization was not really thought through. like the price discovery and things like that. But keeping that aside, but the idea was good. Like, we could build a solution where consumers could get the receipts digitally through, if they have phone with the NFC enabled, they could get the bills to their phone and it would go to their cloud account. So as a consumer, like I can go to any shop and I can give my phone number. It identifies his account. It would store the bills in the cloud.
Something like what Expensive was doing in the US at that time.
Yeah.
Similar.
So but expense, it was only for expense. So here, like, it is similar to that. So they could actually, so we had one layer about, like they could go, and once they go to a shop and they do some shopping, the bill go to the cloud, to their cloud account. They could actually reorder if they want something, like, similar. So we had one more layer, since we do the OCR and we read that receipt, and
So there was a commerce angle that you were
the
planning.
commerce we tried to bring. I mean, it was kind of bit too much for a startup.
But was it ahead of its time also a bit?
It was ahead of a time.
Yeah.
That's what the pricing was a issue, because retail shops, they were open for this, but they also wanted to print the receipt, because they say when someone, you as consumers were asking for the physical receipt, the physical bill, most of them. So they can't really. So the ecosystem was not ready.
True.
I think that was one of the reason, like we did deploy it in MKM and few other supermarkets there, and also some retail stores, but didn't really, the acceptance, we didn't get it actually, the required acceptance from the consumers mainly, because the angle itself what we went was like, we are going to save paper, so that like go green and things like that. So in
Things are very relevant now. For example, if you go to Chroma today, you can't get a receipt, it gets emailed to your
but again, it is not
even McDonald's, right? Even McDonald's comes to your email now.
Comes to that. Now I think it is the right time maybe, but that time I think even consumers were expecting the bills, and this go green kind of slogan, that was not really we cannot really use that for a business actually, because if you want to have a business which is profitable, you can't use it unless you want to do something else, trying to save the world. Otherwise it is not a business. So that we spent about a year on that, and we tried. I think the solution was good. We did pitch it to investors, and everyone liked it. Only problem was the monetization part of it. Like, though the retailers were asking us to get the money from retail analytics, like do analytics and try to figure out which area what product is selling, then maybe do something around. But it was a bit late for us, because it was like we were burning cash, and we could not really sustain the timing as well, like for that. So since mine and my co-founder, both our background is in consulting, so I spent about 15 years before starting this, like 5 years in product development and 10 years in consulting space, IT consulting. Mine was cybersecurity consulting. My partner was into ERP consulting. So we had good understanding of different industries, because when you're in cybersecurity, like you get to work with different industries and understand their business problems, and you try to give a technology solution, but still you get to know the business problems. And we had good understanding of that IT delivery services, IT consulting market. So what we thought was, let us diversify there. Since both of us are from actually tech founders, actually not really, we did not.
At that time, everybody was a tech founder actually.
Yeah, but I think maybe but we can't go back and change anything now. But so tech founder. So we thought, okay, let us keep the technology, like our startup, whatever the product interest alive, and but to sustain, let us start the consulting and delivery service. So that's how we started into cybersecurity consulting, and we had initial success with PwC, and some of them really, though we were a startup, we could work with them on the big fours, and also some of the good mark customers we got initially. That's how we could keep our ship afloat, and we were able to move on actually. So we didn't have to really look for other options. At the same time, we kept on finding some other ideas for product development, and we started building different products and trying to pivot with customers, and that journey still continues actually. Like we have one side, we have the IT consulting side, and we have another product line where we continue to build products. And one of the product which we have built is kind of successful. Like we have about 500,000 students who are using the platform in India,
Oh,
So that is one of the success stories.
is it
From
sold as a SaaS to the schools?
it is, yes, a SaaS to the mainly for the universities. It is an English language learning platform.
Sure.
So it is. So we started just pivoting with one of the university like VTU in Karnataka. So we could really pivot there and actually provide an online language lab for students. Till then, like it was all like the static content in their language lab, and people just
Interesting.
use that. So this is online language lab. So we could provide them a dynamic content, like personalized content, like based on their learning path, based on their current skill level. We could give them a different content for them to learn. So it's not just a just reading part of it. It's like all facets of learning, language learning. It involves listening, speaking, reading, writing, all real time analysis of grammar, including explaining the concepts in their native language, things like that. So it was totally made for India, kind of make in India, made for India kind of product. So we had, because of all that.
Was this pre-COVID or post-COVID?
It is pre-COVID we started, but even that continued during COVID as well, because I think COVID time was so. I think the COVID time, I think, was the right time for this kind of product, because people were sitting at home and all
Yeah.
online.
I thought you must have thought that during that time.
Yeah, so we just started a year before, so we had a good. I think it was right time in the market. So we had good adoption rate. So that time we had about 500 plus colleges in India using it actually. So they subscribed to it, and all students were using it, and that continued actually. So then because of that, like we could get recognized by AICTE, SWAYAM Plus, National Skill Development Corporation, NSDC, and all these state skill development corporations. So we are actually recognized by all of them now. So it is um, eligible for 2 credits. If someone does certification in our platform, it is 2 credits for their graduation. Like,
I see. So that's accredited across India.
accredited across India. So universities using it now, like Sharda University and few universities using it for, so they give credits for that. So that way, so our product journey also like continuing that way. And even now we are building couple of products in the generative AI. So
I want to actually cover that most hottest topic out there.
yeah. So because this even the Langquill, which the product which I spoke about, it is in the AI ML space, because we use AI and ML for building these language models and giving them the adaptive content, and doing this real time analysis and things like that. So even the speaking analysis, all that. So it is, so our AI ML journey started there actually. So then we diversified into generative AI now. So there are two area service lines I'm talking about. Product is service. So service side, we have 3 focus areas: cyber security, which I've like my 20 plus years now, cyber security. So, and then we have cloud. So cloud we started since it was one of the market opportunity, and this cloud native development and cloud cost optimization and things like that, they're all need of the hour for every business. So that's how we started cloud practice, and then we have the cybersecurity practice, and then we have AML practice. So those 3 we are continuing now, and all our services, all our offerings around that now. So we have like community of practice for each of these service lines, where we have reusable assets, and we have a lot of knowledge base around that. So that's how it is now. So even the Gen AI product development and all that, they are all coming under these. Like we are reusing the same pool, but we are building the products as well as providing consulting.
Since you started, for how long were you only domestic IT? And when which year did you move out?
I think first
into outside market.
Yeah, I think first 2 years it was pure domestic, and then I think, as always, like IT services, I think the market is outside India. It is mainly because I think new application development and all like okay in domestic, but I think since our services were like cybersecurity, cloud, and things like that, so it's mainly the more demand was outside India, because like having legacy systems, modernizing to cloud, or having digitalization requirements, moving to cloud. So all that, like we found more interest outside India. So that
was there a chicken and egg thing, that because when people generally end up writing, oh, we went and found customers outside India, but there's always this thing, everyone asks, okay, what experience do you have? Was that a challenge that you faced, that when you went and spoke to clients outside in the US market or Europe market, or you didn't have enough experience, so they have this?
I think that challenge we found more in India. Like India, people look for more of experience,
Why is it different in the why is it different outside?
I think they would look at like if I am, because since I have cybersecurity background, if I'm talking to someone in US or customers in US, they actually see my background and try to see not like. But India, what I see is they generally see how long you have been, how what is your company credentials and things like that. Maybe there is a different mindset, the opportunity given to a smaller players in India is different from what
So you have better opportunities outside.
what it is like.
True,
Actually,
and I think to
Yeah.
to a larger extent we also see it on a platform because you see IT companies, freelancers
like
working for not just small corporations, but we see some of these customers when we talk to them.
right.
They even get payments from Sony, which is like a large corporation out there.
Right.
Even they are giving opportunities to not just the big brands out there, but to smaller brands, lesser known brands. I think it's the opportunity and the probably, as you said, the credibility of the initial team might actually help in terms of getting some of those deals out there.
Right.
But I think
Definitely credibility helped, and I had a team which was like sticking with me, so that really helped. And since the knowledge what we
so. My next question was is that
Yeah.
how did you build this team? Okay, I understood there were two founders.
Right.
Or were there more founders?
No, there are two founders.
But beyond that, how did you build the team, and how do you bring that conviction and take them together?
Yeah.
That's the dream of every founder, to build a team that sticks with them.
Yeah, I think maybe the company culture, like because it's well, open door policy, and and I don't just say that. I think it is kind of, we always wanted to take them along with us, so we were open with them. Like when something doesn't work well, it was like discussed, like and we always made sure that everyone felt safe.
So we were talking about the team culture that you built out, which was, if I'm summarizing what you said, based on transparency, honesty, taking them together.
Yes.
Not just talking just about successes, but also talking openly about what's not worked.
Exactly.
But how did you ensure that they felt safe? Because feeling safe is a very subjective matter for everybody.
It is subject.
What for me is different for you, for others out there. How do you
I think
bring
that, yeah, in our case, what helped is like we had services and products. Like if products, there are challenges, definitely we used to find them opportunities in the consulting space. Maybe the way it was structured, I think it.
So the organizational structure was built in such a manner that
Yeah.
they could actually slide between product and service.
Yeah, wherever there is an opportunity, it is like actually two companies, right? So whenever there is a need for, whenever there is something in the product side, I used to get them here. Otherwise, they would be doing the consulting. So there was something there. So the long-term visibility was there for them. So there is no fear of like, because start of the issue would be maybe, what next, what if kind of. Yeah, that's.
Tell me about your first customer. How did you end up getting the first customer outside India? Who it was? Maybe not exactly the full details, but how did you go about getting the first customer?
The first customer again came through connections. So the first customer in US was a company called Dematic. So they are into logistics and all that. So first of all, like our service lines, it is organized into three areas, like consulting, delivery, and managed services. So consulting is where like we just do the the initial strategy consulting, or maybe roadmap, or maybe even the plan on how to do things. Delivery is like when we actually have a scope ready, then we do the actual development and delivery to them. And then third one is managed services. So the first win what we got in the managed services area, where it is kind of application support. It is like keep lights on, business as usual kind of work in the security space, where we had to do some incident analysis, and we have to monitor their network for incidents, and report it, and maybe take some actions, L1 L2 kind of actions. So that's how we got in. So we got in through managed services, but then slowly we moved up the chain, like started getting into delivery services, and then wherever we have the clarity, then started giving them the proposal with respect to how we will do in things like that, and then moved to consulting. So it came through that, again,
It was all bottoms up.
it is bottoms up,
Ground up. You
and
build it.
support, delivery, and then consulting. So that's how we came up in the services side. Yeah. So and then we started building our portfolio, like case studies, and building our kind of credibility as well in the, and word of mouth helped us a lot actually. Yeah.
So references from previous customers, that's
Yes.
the most important thing.
Most important thing. Yeah.
And today when you look back, could you have started your business outside India, like natively, without going those 2 years in India? Would that be possible?
I think it may have helped, but see, we were bootstrapped, right? So I think considering all that, I think the best thing what we did was in India, because we could conserve, whatever we had, and
So build a base and then build on top of it.
yeah, I think maybe if I look back, if I have a solid plan, and if I had pivoted, and if I have really something, if I'm looking for customers, then maybe, it would have made sense for us to maybe do it in US. Because I think the acceptance in US for a startup or the idea or the new services per se, it's more. Like, I don't think anyone sees like what is the credibility of your, maybe 10 years credibility. I don't think they see. I mean, it is just my observation. I would have definitely done it, if I had a product, if I have an idea, and if I pivoted, and if I have believed that ecosystem in US is ready, or ecosystem in elsewhere outside world is ready, definitely I would have moved and did it there.
So let me ask you about this Gen AI. Is US the first market for the product? For products that are building with Gen AI?
I think Gen AI, I think India also, I think, since nowadays, like, see now this digital transformation, I think started in US and, elsewhere, and then came here. But I think Gen AI transformation, I think it is the speed at which the adoption is happening, like, it's all same, like,
Oh, so you can say even India, it's at the same place.
it is same, but I think India actual, I think the customers are still wary, because they are not sure how it is going to help them. But definitely everyone interested to know. They know that there is something called generative AI. They want to see how it is going to help them, how it is going to bring the efficiency, how it is going to give them a technological edge. They all, even Western markets, Indian markets, the curiosity wise it is same. Only thing, the investment when it comes to actual trying paid POCs, or actually, probably subscribe into your service, that I think is better in other markets.
Just to add to one data point, just yesterday I was reading that India crossed US as OpenAI's largest market. So 13.6% of users of OpenAI are in India, right?
I don't know, paid users.
No, not paid users, but overall users itself. But that just means that the adoption of AI has been fastest in India. See, if you go back to using Google search,
Right.
or using Gmail 20 years ago, India wouldn't have reached to the level to which the US or the Europe reached
Right.
in adoption.
Right.
Let's keep the paying customers aside for a minute.
Yes. Yeah.
But just with adoption itself, I think India was probably 5 years or 7 years behind all these markets
Right.
when it came to adoption.
Yes.
But when it comes to AI,
Yeah.
even my mother, I'm being very open. My mother has a Samsung Galaxy phone. She also has the OpenAI installed on her phone.
Right.
And she's also using it, and she's 73 years old. Right? And she came to us asking, what is this OpenAI? Right? And I think that aha moment of Studio Ghibli filters going viral, when everyone actually kind of asked that stuff. So I think that's a very valid point that you brought out there. If I connect the dots, I think the AI transformation in India will happen parallelly to the US.
It will, I think. It will, because the interest level is definitely there. And I think the commercially, whether the products can be, released in India before US, all that, which I think we need to see. But otherwise, the interest is there. I am sure the businesses, they know that Gen AI is the thing which is going to transform, definitely going to transform the business.
So what's the opportunity that you are looking as an IT company to build products in the Gen AI market?
I think,
Are you going to build on top of your existing customers' requirement, or is it going to be new markets and new companies that you
I
work
think
with?
new companies, what we are seeing. So first thing is, like, what I see is Gen AI. So Gen AI, there are multiple parts to it. One is content creation. Like, Gen AI, you do a lot of content creation. It could be text, audio, video. So you say, or repurpose some, you have some content, you repurpose to something else. So mainly content generation is where, like, people are using it a lot. But I see, like, there is another area where we call it as intelligent automation, like, because a lot of RPA, people are doing a lot of robotic automation, right? With some AI, but with Gen AI, the automation can be even better, because you can have, like, things like digital twins, and maybe if I know the process, and if I know the reasoning, how some decisions are made. Then I can have agentic AI, so things like that. So the lot of Gen AI what is that Gen AI offering the value, I could actually add it in my current service line as well. Like in cyber security, maybe AI for cyber security, Gen AI for cyber security, because LLMs, they do hallucinate, they do bias, they do a lot of things. So again, those are our security concerns, right? So I can use Gen AI, I can retrofit, maybe realign my services to along with add Gen AI services in each of those, because I have a cloud service line. So I could add Gen AI there, like maybe somebody is doing cloud native development, how they can do proactively monitor it, how they can have, maybe I have a co-pilot to to maybe accelerate their development and maybe time to market. And even in the AI/ML space, how Gen AI can help with the digital twin kind of thing. So we are trying to realign the current services, add these additional things to the portfolio, which can be generated through Gen AI.
So when you look at, say, there are very large companies who are solving these LLM problems, etc. out there.
Yeah.
Is your approach going to be bespoke and customized, providing the right kind of customer support service, and also the kind of comfort when they're transitioning from something known to unknown? For a large set of people, even today, AI is unknown. There's a little bit of fear factor that comes with it.
Right.
What if AI takes control of my systems, etc. out there?
Right.
So is that the USP is going to be, or will you be facing?
I think
Will you have to still be saying I'm going to be competitive compared to these guys? Hence, I'm going to be used as
trying to be competitive as of now, trying to be competitive, trying to build, because at least in the IT consulting space, there are three things matters actually. Like you need people, process, and tools.
Yeah.
See, these three, like they're age old thing. Like whenever you build some consulting practice, you need these three. So what I'm trying to do is people, trying to get all employees, everyone up to date with the Gen AI, understand how Gen AI can help in whatever the daily thing what they do. And the process wise, I'm trying to identify the use case, and also try to see how we can showcase that to customer and give them additional value, and tools, like understand different tools what is available there. So at this moment we are focusing on, from the services side, actually building these three pillars, trying to augment them with Gen AI skills. So that way I'll be at least competitive when I go and talk to customer. Okay, it may not be a new service to them at this moment.
understood.
I'll be competitive. I'll be at least like what others are doing.
So first you're trying to become at parity, that I'm going to provide all
Parity, and we are providing building two products now. One is in the one, to name it, kind of stealth as of now. So it is for any businesses. For example, they want to, there is a hype around Gen AI. They don't know how it can help them, right? So we are building a sandbox for them. There is a there will be a canvas for them. So we will have a default Gen AI flows for their segment. Like we identify, for every segment we are identifying some top use cases, and then we give them a customizable process there, where they can say, okay, I want to maybe have an Excel input here, or maybe I want to maybe have a RAG implementation here, and maybe I'll have a vector. So they could actually stitch together what they want to do in our sandbox with their data, so that they can actually see what exactly the gain they are going to get at the end of it. So because as of now there are no tools like that available, because I know there are big players, they are providing tools, but they are not agnostic in the market. Like if NVIDIA provides, they provide a canvas where I can only use the libraries from NVIDIA.
correct.
Okay, so what we are
You're
doing
nice to the ecosystem. This is more
we're tied to their ecosystem, so we are making it a bit agnostic. So that no cost, maybe I could try out my use case, and actually I can run that in my private cloud and see what exactly the gain I'm getting. So this is one product which we are building now. So the product will have, there will be a set of libraries which you are going to give them, set of agents we are going to give them, so they could actually plug them together and actually see the end-to-end value out of it. So as of now, I see there is a gap in the market. There is no product like that. So we see it could be useful for anyone trying, any business owner who want to see how it is going to help them. Otherwise, if they go to ChatGPT or any of these online these things, so again the data goes to the cloud, and then if as a
the interface is not a business owner.
it's not a business owner friendly. So we want to give a very drag and drop kind of interface, which is like self-explanatory, and keep a set of libraries there. Ask them, do you want to modify this default flow and see, and where you want to plug in your data and see. So things like that. So at the end, they could run that in their whichever, the private cloud they want to run.
Something maybe you should take on a product hunt package someday.
Yeah, no, but you just maybe about 80% we are done there. So we are still adding more libraries. So
Do give it a try in the so
yeah. So about so we want to build more libraries so that we could actually cover the entire workflow, like for anyone want to see. So
sectors are the most excited about that AI will bring a change. By sectors I mean like education, healthcare, research, space. Which is the segment you think the immediate benefits of Gen AI will, other than the content and meme etc. that's going around us. But
yeah, the content definitely. So edtech, I think a lot of simulation they could do. Like they could generate content on the fly. There is no so that is definitely edtech is definitely there because a lot of simulation they could do actually on the fly. There is no need of again rebuilding those things. Edtech is on it, but I think the area of finance, banking definitely because there are a lot of reports are being made and there are a lot of what is that the reporting validation and lot of heavy lifting in the beginning. So whoever has a lot of people doing the mundane job, right, the getting data from somewhere, correlating them and doing all that. So whoever is doing that, the back office guys, so for all of them actually it is going to be very very helpful because they could actually have a, even the coders, right, even the somebody is doing coding, so they could actually get 80% work done by this copilot if they really see. Yeah, and it is not it is not just coding quality control, like testing and including deployments, everything we could do, like if you have the entire flow set. But I think it would definitely initially useful for banking, finance there because of, and healthcare definitely required. But healthcare again, the regulations and all that there, right? So maybe little more because as of now, I think the one of the issue with the Gen AI is like if you want to use this foundation model like OpenAI or any of these, so you end up connecting to them, right? There will be some data transfer happening. So you cannot actually download them and run it locally because of the cost concerns.
there's no private
There is no private cloud is not that economical, right? Commercially it is not easy for a smaller mid and small companies, businesses. So I think at that level, if you see, I think it would take some time for big businesses to really use Gen AI solutions because I'm sure they'll be wary of the security part of it because they end up whatever they do, RAG implementation, whatever they do, at the end of it they may have to connect to maybe OpenAI to summarize it or generate something, right? So there is a definitely security issues there. I mean that were concerned by big organizations, but I think see edtech, manufacturing, and some of these guys could definitely use it because wherever the security concerns are low, they could definitely go for it as of now.
and
Yeah.
just answer a question. You started in 2015.
Right.
Maybe you wanted to build a different product, would end up building an IT company, employing over 150 people now. Do you think in 2025 with AI, there will be native AI IT service companies getting created? Or mostly companies like yours will actually evolve into things services? Will they be coming to start off by saying, I am going to provide AWS? And can they actually stand
can.
market standalone?
It can stand in the market as long as they have these skills there, right? Skills. I think skills what is going to differentiate now because the time to market for any solution now actually reduced a lot because I think maybe if I'm using Gen AI, if I'm trying to build a Gen AI solution, actually I can iterate first version I can get it ready in a week or two. So I don't think so. Now the entry barrier for a smaller players is actually come down rather than more. It has actually come down because if I have
Make them win over the other. What do you think that is?
because of the speed at which what they can do, right?
It all comes down to perseverance plus now it has to be speed as well.
It has a speed as well. It is a speed now.
It's like
speed.
I keep reading that in the Silicon Valley, all AI companies work 7 days a week.
Fast.
So they're so competitive with each other and nobody's going home.
Yeah. Because I see now.
Hoping nobody's but everyone has to work 7 days because everyone is finally it's a speed. As I said, computing is almost there. Everybody's got the same chips.
Right.
Everybody knows the kind of time.
It's just put together who puts together. Yeah, who puts together first. I think they are going to win. So because we go to customer and we understand their use case, the expectation is that within a week we give them a workable solution. So just as a so that they can start seeing the value. So that's where I think the current challenge is.
So it's going to be like a better version of not a Figma, but more of a working model mockup, which actually is that what it's going to be, or it's
Though what we are doing it is like Figma, but yeah, but I think that's what we want to be under. Okay with customer will be okay because just a POC. See, as of now, I think any investment, if you see, I think it is only for proof of concept. People want to see how much it is going to help them, so that they can include that in their
sandboxing is a great.
sandbox.
This must have come out of your own problem of convincing customers.
Yeah, because we kept on building. Yeah, we started building, see, for sales prospecting, and there are a lot of things we started building because you could do, see, earlier you do web scraping and try to do social listening and all that you do for prospecting. But now, like with AI, Gen AI coming in there, so you can actually find the prospect through scraping and connecting the dots, but also you can create a personalized email to them. So you can do it end to end now. So you could find your prospect if you know your target very well. You know the entire process, how to get them, what to look for, and everything. With AI, with web scraping and all that, with automation, you could get a lead list. But now actually you can qualify them. You can actually have AI generating the content, audio content, video content, whatever it is, personalized content. Go and actually give you the actual customer. Till you onboard a customer, it can actually do it.
Qualified till the level where
Yeah.
last.
Yeah, last touch, I think last touch definitely required, but you can actually reduce your funnel, right? Because initially you put a lot of effort to reduce the the leads, right, in the lead generation. I think we had a lot of requirements like that coming in, like how it can help, because that's where like a lot of sales effort going in, and so that's where one of the area where Gen AI definitely useful. And other areas, customer support, definitely, because it need not be only rule based, right? Currently, like all the chatbots are rule based. If there is no answer, it won't be able to say anything, right? So, but if I have a Gen AI chatbot, like it can actually continue the conversation, take some decisions, and maybe arrive at it may not be possible for finance and other areas, but typically for a customer support, what a agent can do, customer support agent, that the bot can do with Gen AI. So even that area we believe, because that is again from the business point of view, that is one of their cost center, right? So wherever these two are definitely cost centers, right? So they are not directly contributing. So there these things Gen AI definitely can help. So we believe, like if they want to try out how this can help, they could try our sandbox and build these use cases and see to it themselves. They could give this is my prospect data, this is these are the signals I'm expecting from the different social channels, or different web scraping, whatever they want to do, and then say how I want to personalize it, or their company context they could add. So they could actually do that end to end. They can see how it is actually going to translate to qualified lead. So yeah, so
I think we've also been doing a bunch of the marketing stuff using Gen AI.
yeah.
Where we today actually have challenges is when it comes to voice, and when you dial someone, and when India is a very unique country with so many vernacular languages.
Right.
There is the challenge today.
Yeah.
Where the voice is still not fixed.
Not fixed only.
I
Yeah.
think it works.
But there is a possibility. So I think that's why I'm saying it is actually productizing or actually bringing the solution to your enterprise may not be is not ripe yet actually. So it is basically you could see where it can help. So you could plan maybe in next 6 months, maybe this is where I want to adopt Gen AI. So this is a maybe experimentation stage where a lot of the tools available, models available, a lot of ideas available, how it can help. So we just have to choose what would best fit, because sometimes maybe that you may have to really call, because this audio, as you're saying, in India may not be the right thing, right? So but maybe
Yes, it works well now. I think English has been cracked.
Yeah.
And the remaining languages is still, I think, but as I always say, right, AI is the worst as it will be today. It's
Right.
only going to get better from today.
Better go from today.
Best today and the worst today.
Yeah.
Next day, it is will be better than it is.
Right.
It's just a matter of time.
Matter of time. So I think it's the right time to experiment and right time to identify the areas where you could invest, which could add value to your business, right? So I think the experimentation stage now, even any of the business where we are talking to, they are still experimenting. Only POC is what they do, and it is not really going to be directly used by customers, or not directly used. Just see the value, how much value it is going to add. But investment definitely there. Everyone want to see Nobody want to be left behind with this journey.
So you are pretty convinced that you will also have a market large enough in India for you to sell.
Market is users will be there, but maybe market I don't know, because from the top line if I see, I'm sure like in India we will have enough users to fine tune our solutions and yeah. But actually if you want revenue, if you are looking at top line, I think we should target other.
In this, are you having to set up offices in these different geographies, or is the GTM changing for you in this?
No. Sol says, I think that the geographical requirement actually is coming down now. So no more requirement. Actually, no more requirement. There.
Anywhere and sell anywhere, almost.
Yes, but yeah, data security and see, you may be able to build the solution here, but you may not be able to deploy here. But yeah, we definitely need a geographical requirement in terms of if you are actually going to use their data and probably do anything with the data. But otherwise, just to try out things, I think it's all okay. Remote is okay. Yeah.
And what percentage of the business is today international?
It's about 80% international. Yeah. 60% US, 20 Europe, and 20 domestic.
How did you end up building Europe market? Was it again through connects, or because typically most of the Indian companies they work in the US market?
It is through Connect. So we entered UK through Connect, but from UK again Sweden. So like that, it's organically. Yeah. Word of mouth is what helped us. Yeah. So
You have to often travel to DC.
because it is word of mouth and through connections, no actually. But maybe it's not the right business model, because word of mouth there is always a limit, right? It can't really go viral kind of. So we need to invest on this. We started investing in the sales side as well, like having kind of the team in US. So we have a incorporation in US now, like subsidiary in US and Australia. We are trying to get our sales teams there and try to grow market there, because as of now it's all word of mouth connections. That's how we are like grown to this level.
So the next plan is to probably have a team there, a small team.
Sales team, yeah. Sales team is what is required, and everything else, pre-sales, everything can be done from India. But I think sales team, because that is a high touch area actually in any business, right? You need to build a relation, and you need to have definitely contacts, because everything finally comes down to trust, and whether any business it comes down to yeah. So that's what I believe, like we need to have the sales initial part, definitely high touch business. So you cannot really do remote digital twin. No twin can help there. Like it is building relation. Yeah.
In our business, in the movement of money,
Yeah.
it's also and trust is the most important.
Trust is more.
Because average transaction of customers is like $15,000. It's not like 100 rupees EPI.
Right. Yeah.
So the first 50 customers that we brought in, we actually met them face to face.
Right.
We were in Mumbai, so we used to like go door to door. Again through connects. Of course, it just don't go randomly cold calling, and we used to meet them and talk about them. And we still face a lot of rejection because people are not very, especially in the movement of money banking sector.
Right.
So starting off, you have a chicken egg problem where nobody knows about you.
Yes. Yeah.
But you still want the first ex-customer to say, okay, Lats is using our platform or Dipan is using our platform.
Yes.
So for that, we need to have you guys first.
Right.
So I totally relate with you where we had this major problem. I think the only way we actually were able to solve was the initial team that we brought in. They had industry connects. Right? So when they said, okay, we want to come and meet and talk to you about EximPe,
Right.
they gave us a 10-minute chance. And they heard to us, right?
Yes.
Versus if I would have just gone there saying I would have built this, it would have been difficult. I didn't come from a financial background.
Yeah.
I came from an e-commerce background.
Right. Yeah. No, good to know actually, like, at least in the services, it's a lot of, it's a trust basically end of the day, like, who gets it. Because end of the day, the same set of people may be doing it, right? So because people move across these companies, service companies. So even customer is aware of that. So it is just a trust, who will deliver better, whom they can trust. And if the person is available to next to them, it is more comfort than like, someone doing remote.
Do any free trade agreements which are meant for goods help in IT service in any way?
IT services, no, because it is mainly export, right? So it's because I was just thinking, right? So from the service, like from your side, like how we are benefiting as of now, like we are.
Like the with Britain, does it open up anything for you other than the import or export?
No, nothing. None of these will help us.
So what can the government do to help kind of Is there any or everything is almost in place now? Where
I think it is in place. That's what we see, because there is a definitely, the Western market know that, like, this is where the remote work can be done, right? So there is no hesitation, or there is no thinking twice by them to give us business.
I think that will become
Yeah.
default, because I think
Yeah.
today India, I think every year we are adding some 100 GCCs in
In India, yeah.
half of them in Bangalore.
Yeah.
I think the only complaint is the traffic could have get got from there.
Right.
We can't get to the GCC in
GCs areas.
And ask me, where is your office in Bangalore? Where is the office in
We are on MG Road, so we just wanted to be centered. So just to ensure that, like, everyone gets to commute easily, and
you
there is a
somewhere in a metro station?
near metro station, not very, I think about 5 minutes walk from metro. But yeah, it is like, we just wanted to ensure that, like, everyone has a comfort of coming here. So that's the reason we said.
Twice, because as you see, I think the way at least metro gets built in Bangalore,
Yeah.
in 2 to 3 years, I think MG Road will be the center of hub of Durham.
Yeah,
And even people as far as Whitefield can come to HG Road in 40 minutes.
exactly. Connectivity is the main thing. And then, I think even the access connectivity, and also, the place there, like, everything available. And it is just that the vibe required for the people, whom we employ. I think it is.
Is it in the Gen I era, is it difficult to retain talent?
2 years now, there's no resignations. So in Gen AI. So
Is a big.
yeah, I think I'm keeping them engaged with good work. I think that is definitely there. Plus this open door policy, and a few things like building trust and all that. Yeah, maybe employees need to speak for what is keeping them with them. But yeah, that's how it is.
That's the point of victory.
Yeah.
The AI is a very fast moving,
Right.
changing world.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did you end up using EximPe, and how do you find us? Like,
I think I did send an inquiry. See, our experience with because we were with HDFC Bank. I mean, it was not bad though. But like the exchange rates, like every time whenever there is a new remittance, we have to call and relationship manager, and it was not as smooth. Okay, so that's why I always thought maybe there could be something. I got to know about it because of your posts and all. I knew that, so I had reached out actually. I reached out, so then got onboarded. I think the onboarding was very smooth, and what I saw was like we were like advised to open banking with DBS, and everything was smooth actually. Like onboarding was very smooth, documentation with EximPe as well as DBS. And then we started seeing the benefits in terms of the exchange rate, and it is kind of now like unnoticed actually. Whenever we get remittance, actually by default we get preferential rates. I think all thanks to you, because these are all directly adding to your top line, right? So that is definitely there. And plus even the settlement time, we see like as soon as we receive within like couple of hours, actually not even couple of days. Like if I receive by maybe morning, maybe by noon, I will have money in the account.
I think
So
one of the things that you rightly said,
yeah.
I've seen this across customers. Settlement time is something that is
Settlement time, exchange rate also actually been very good. I hope DBS is not listening to this. Okay, they are good compared to what we were getting earlier, and even the compliance part, like I think with DBS it is little simple. I'm not saying that we're not compliant now. I think you have simplified some of the process there, right? So end of the day, I think you simplified some of the compliance what we have to do for inward remittance. So now like we did it, and now like it is kind of no touch for us actually. So everything,
that's our mission.
Yeah.
That's our mission.
Yeah.
And,
And not just USD, AUD, GBP, euros, any AED, everything,
It's 2 to 60 currencies, so you can go and do
Yes.
anywhere you want.
Yeah. So all remittances are actually smooth now. Like we don't really worry about it. We know that like we get good exchange rate, settlement is good, so we don't have to really worry about that part. So that is one good thing with the EximPe, after partnering with the EximPe.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your kind words. And just to add, and that's something that when we started EximPe, we had realized in my early days of traveling to Mumbai, we found out that customers who used to do even as big as a $50,000 transaction, they wouldn't get to know what rate is being applied on the
Right.
on the transaction. And sometimes they would just get a SMS in their phone saying, I am not credited this pass.
They won't even mention the exchange rate in the
It was calculating what just happened, right? And when we looked at that, it was 2022. I mean, we were boasting of domestic transparency, digitalization. The poorer cousins were the SMEs in India.
Right.
They had everything transparent, everything digital. And exporters and importers who are also really, I would say they are really the backbone of India. I mean, IT service companies bring in the much required dollars, which helps us still remain positive on balance of payments.
Right.
As well as the exporters and importers who actually do all that manufacturing activity. It was so difficult for them to get a seamless experience.
Yeah.
And it was surprising to me that in 2022 it hadn't happened. And that's what led us to this journey. And I'm very glad that you actually like this.
No, I like the experience. I definitely like that, like, since now government push also there for import exports, and I think the right time, it is just the matter of maybe people knowing about it and actually using it actually, because it's easy to say, anyway things are happening, but if they start using, they will actually see the benefit, right? Because any exchange rate gain, anything, right? So that directly impacts their profitability.
Absolutely.
So, and in the import, definitely the margins are definitely very, very competitive. So it is good to be in this platform, get the best rates, I think.
And even though that matter, I was just looking at the rates of the last 1 month, okay? So I think it was May 18th and I looked at it. In the last 30 days, the dollar went from 85.2 to 84.2. It went to 85.67.
Right.
Again, it went back to 84. Then again went back to 85.8. So if you look at over a month, the rupee has actually varied almost 2 rupees.
2 rupees.
So why just an importer? Even an exporter could end up actually losing a rupee.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you're doing a $50,000 transaction, that's 50,000 rupees,
Yes.
right?
About 2-3% actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think being in a country like India where margins are definitely that's something that we all strive towards,
Yes.
it can make a big difference.
It will make a difference. I'm actually, I can vouch for it, because I think, I don't want to quote the numbers, because maybe, I'm getting about from the exchange rate, point of view, maybe about 50 to 60% more than, exchange rate differential I'm talking about. So I'm getting that much difference.
That's always wanted to see. It's a transaction where there is no risk for the customer.
Right.
There is no risk for the bank.
Yeah.
Money has come in
Right.
to convert it. Give the best rate.
Right.
And we know that the entrepreneur or the founder will utilize that money for something better.
Right.
An IT service company is going to deploy it back into the economy. He's either going to hire one more employee.
Yes.
Because he knows he can put 2 more employees there. He can do one more project. Employment happening, more revenue coming back.
Right.
So, I think bringing efficiency to payments is most important. I think we've also seen this in our interactions with banks, as well as what we've seen RBI doing in the last couple of years. I think the government and the RBI everyone is understanding that the flow of money and the mechanism of cross-border payments has to get better.
Right.
So that businesses and founders like you can go to anywhere in the world and say, yes, I'm ready to do business. And that means that they should be able to collect money in any currency that they want to.
Yes.
And then they should be able to collect money faster. See, even settlement is a very important thing.
Yeah.
Let's break it down, right? If you all know, as seasoned entrepreneur, you know how important cash flow is.
Right.
No, if some money gets delayed by 2 days, people generally think, oh, 2 days is nothing. But 2 days out of 30 days is actually 6% of a month.
Yes. Yes.
That means for 6% of a month here, you're uncertain on money.
No, it definitely in Exim market, it definitely makes a difference, because that's what it is. No, trade is, that's what it is. Yeah.
And when we talk to similar importers out there, they say, sir, if my settlement happens 1 day before, I can take the goods from the port 1 day before.
Exactly.
I can sell it to the market 1 day before. So I have saved 3% of the time.
Right.
So that's very important for me.
Very important. Yeah.
And so it's not just the conversion rate, as you rightly pointed, and I didn't think still settlement time mattered to you because it matters more than importer, but it does to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it matters. It definitely matters. Yeah. We say anything. See, it matters in a sense. I don't really use that money as a working capital, like day wise, right? So it won't matter to me that much. But still, like knowing that, okay, money has come in, it always, yeah. So yeah.
You know, by humans' nature, we like the comfort of seeing that there is value and why that there's a comfort.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
What advice would you give to anyone who's starting up today in the Gen AI world, wanting to build products for the world out there? What I mean, and I want something more tangible based on experience.
What they can build.
It's not just how do they go about it. And considering they're going to be small teams, they're not going to be funded in this space. They're going to have to be building bootstrap problems. What would you suggest? Like a couple of things that they can do to get going.
I think they should look at first of all identify which industry they want to get into. Maybe because every industry, as I told you, there is a possibility of having some GenAI value addition, right? So they should look at which industry, shortlist that, and then try to identify, because GenAI, we know it can do content creation, it can do agentic AI, like it can actually do some reasoning, some reasonable reasoning. So it can do, and identify the strengths of GenAI and see how it can really impact, either in terms of maybe efficiency gain, or it could be in terms of maybe quality of the product what that guy is producing, or maybe the service, customer service what they're giving. Identify the area where it can make a maximum difference. Look for the low hanging fruits there from the industry verticals, low hanging fruit, and understand the value, and then actually build that quick POC and then pivot it, because the time to market is very small in GenAI. So whoever want to start, they can have a 2-member, 3-member team, just founders. 2 weeks, if they can brainstorm and identify the use case, they can identify the tech stack within 2 days now, because that's all straightforward. So within a month, they can actually go and pivot with customers, and they can actually see the value. They can fail fast if at all.
I think that's
Failing fast.
failing fast is very important.
They can actually fail fast, or they can see the success as well. But if they can replicate at one place, I am sure, because adoption is very quick here. So I think it is the right time for somebody coming into GenAI, want to do something in this, because they can see the success fast, they can replicate fast.
I had a similar experience, someone telling me that they use this platform called Bowl to actually build a working prototype product interface, which he was then able to in 2 hours.
Yeah.
He was able to make it 2 hours
2 hours.
and show it to some prospective
Yeah.
customer, and he could and what he did was he used the customer's some interface to also show an Android solution.
Right.
And the couple was like, wow.
Yes.
And the customers thought he also they can make it.
Yeah.
But he said it was all in 2 hours.
It is possible. I think I was overestimating, but yeah, still even 2 weeks, 3 weeks, actually short for an entrepreneur, right?
Small.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
But if I pitching to a customer, I think some entrepreneur, somebody want to start something new, give life to their idea. I think it's the right time actually.
I think it's an amazing time to be alive. Man.
Exactly.
When I was graduating, engineering, we had everything theoretical.
Right. Yeah.
We were just reading operating systems and distributor systems. So many systems that run record on the add up to.
Yes.
So we just doing Java database projects.
Right.
We didn't have anything in the market. Okay, in fact, I applied for an internship across so many companies at that time. I actually ended up doing my internship with BSNL. We didn't even get an opportunity to use our computer space in internship today. But today, actually, as you said, there are so many products that you can actually do it. I think the world is a laboratory. You have everything out there. You can start doing things on your own.
Exactly. It is the right time actually for entrepreneurs to get into this GenAI, build something in GenAI and see.
Fail fast is 15 days now.
Yes, yeah. They don't have to burn so much. I think just founders can sit and do it actually.
Yeah.
It's all no code, because I think everything is now getting into no code. Just see the value, find where the value can add value.
Even the
Just no code.
solution can be actually built out. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And what about college students? What do they do?
In using our products, or they
In general,
I think see, we have some interns, because since we are building some GenAI solutions, so we are getting them to this. But I think even the tier 1 colleges, I say, because they are all they have these internal groups, hackathon groups, and GenAI solution groups, all these. I think they are actually well prepared as of now to get into this market and get to the industry and really start adding value quickly. So I believe the students, tier 1 colleges, I'm sure because we do interact with because of our product is in that tech space, right?
Yeah.
We see that they
500,000 students is a big number.
yeah, it's a big number. So I see they are already kind of exposed.
Go to 5 million. Is there a plan there?
It will go, because we are part of all these government schemes now. So because each scheme will bring in about 2-3 lakh students at a time. So
this is going to grow organically.
yeah, now it is growing. Now we are empaneled everywhere, like, so we have IIT Madras, NITs, they're all our customers. So they are all, so even their word of mouth and all that, every university is trying to adopt. So say, as we speak, SRM University is also trying to adopt to their students. Yeah. So it is good because the beauty is like they can actually practice everything online, and it's all adaptive. It's not like one side one. Language, Quill is writing. So yeah, Lanquill, yeah. Lanquill, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how do you go from 150 to 1,000 employees? What's the plan? I'm sure that there somewhere, right?
I always wanted, I don't know how you read my mind. I was thinking I wanted to say that in the beginning, but I don't know whether I have to really, that dream, because I had a dream, because when I started this, initially I did not. When I moved to IT services, I always wanted to see, 1,000 employees. Kind of, maybe employment to 1,000 people. But with this, all this coming in, maybe I'm like thinking maybe do more with what, people what we have, like, try to have, more productivity, show the world what value we can provide with what you have, things like that. I just want to tailor more skilled, more consultative approach, and more that focus, rather than just grow horizontally and do anything and everything under the sun. So still I'm uh, thinking twice about it, but still definitely providing employment is a good thing, and it is a thing.
I think
Yeah.
one of the best things that
Yeah.
I think we founders can do is actually provide
Provide employment. Yeah. Yeah.
and then it's also like, I'm sure at some point in time, from these 150,
Yeah.
some point in time 5 will start their own company, and from
Yeah.
the 2 will start.
Exactly.
There's also a chain reaction.
Yeah.
Right?
No, 1,000 was actually, it is in my mind. The exact number, I don't know how you really read my mind. I don't know. I was thinking about 1,000 actually. It is, for a long time. I did tell this in our
I've never known this.
our what is that? We had a 10th year celebration. I did just last February. I told about 1,000 employees. That okay, I was always thinking about it. I want to have 1,000 employees. So we need to see.
What are you going to do in the next 1.5 years? You'll figure out how to apply.
Yeah, because I think, because I'm in the race. Yeah, I'm thinking twice, because maybe see, I'm focusing on two sides now, services and products, right? So maybe that is kind of dual thing for me, because focusing the two, it may not the right thing, right, from the entrepreneur point of view. Maybe it is good, because to survive and to get going and to keep lights on, everything, do. But if I find that okay, products doing great, I don't know what I would do in the other side. But yeah, we need to see, because
But maybe the AI space also, I think that service are
definitely required. It is useful. It is definitely useful. Consulting is useful. Yeah.
going to be for whether you like it or not, the decision makers are mostly the older bracket,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
For them to kind of understand this,
Yeah. It is consulting, and then that definitely goes well together. Yeah.
go well together.
Yeah.
I think that's the model. And
Yeah.
any feedback for us to improve our experience in EximPe? Anything that we can do?
I don't know. See, from IIT software, who is only mainly focused on import, right? I mean the export of services. I think I'm happy with whatever I have seen. But maybe outward, maybe I don't know how challenging it is, because we have a subsidiary in US, right, and in Australia as well, and we were not able to even fund our subsidiary there, because we can't do the
I see.
outward. So maybe something which can help the companies like ours, because we want to expand, and till we generate revenue there, like we need to satisfy, invest there. So that investment is not at all easy now.
So
Yeah.
this would come under the ODI, right?
Yeah, it comes under ODI, a lot of documentation. It is like about 2 months process.
I see.
Yeah, so 2 months, a lot of approvals, and none of them want to do it. Like banks don't want to do it. RBI anyway, the approvals process is like very long for these.
Well, it's outflow of dollars.
Outflow is not easy. I'm not saying it is must, but yeah, for us, like because inward, I think kind of sorted, because we don't see. It is actually no touch for us as of now, and we can just peaceful there. Like it is nothing required, no governance, nothing required there. Nobody need to follow. So I think outward, maybe if something possible.
I think you'll take this as feedback. I think, see, on the outward side, outward is very well digitized, but from a payment of goods point of view.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely take this up with our product team and also look at, because a larger package meeting, ODI is something that should be possible. Given, I think there's a genuine case out there. Maybe we'll see. Let me see how we can take it out as a feedback.
Yeah, because even if we have, see, if at all I want to grow something there, see, I will have to invest not only in the subsidiary, maybe if I have to buy something, whatever I want to do, if I am buying some services from US, I can't pay in US dollars unless
We can actually, with this new license that we're coming, we can.
Okay.
We can.
Okay.
So there's a new license that is coming out in the market called the PACB license. So we are also right now in the process of applying. You've already applied. The process of RBI is deciding who to be the license to who. So once you have that license, then you can actually pay.
Pay and buy. Okay.
Yeah.
Because even buying software, we always had challenges because everything had to go through ODI route.
We'll follow that.
Yeah. Even just buying stuff actually. Yeah. So we end up buying personally and but it is not the right way to do it actually. So, and then transfer it. But it is not, I mean, I should not be talking about it, but no, but that is what the reality, right? Because you can't really buy maybe 2,000 rupees software. If I can't $2,000 software, I can't do ODI. If it takes 2 months, nobody is interested there actually.
And
Yeah.
these will be from vendors who are well established vendors.
Yeah, well established vendors. Like for example, I wanted to have a partnership with one of the company in US who provide the commission based sales people. Okay, so I don't have to really invest on hiring sales people there. So these are all commission based, so outcome based. But I need to pay upfront for so that like they can get those sales people get trained, right? So there were requirement like that because see, end of the day, it's going to help a Indian company to set up established there. I mean, we are trying to find the least possible how much we can send their live. So even that we could not do actually.
You actually started doing
Okay.
digital services.
Right.
Only thing you'll have to do is you'll have to probably onboard the supplier in US. Okay. He doesn't even need to have an Indian entity. If you can refer him and he gets onboarded,
Okay.
then you can send money for digital goods up to $25,000.
Okay.
That should cover.
Yeah, that should cover. That's what it will be. Yeah. Right.
I mean, that's a good use case. So that means like IT companies also have a lot of these outward payments that will be required.
Well, you have business development. Yeah, business development and mainly business development part of it. Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, and sometimes like see, a company like ours, like we operate like 100% remote. For us, because for some of the projects requires maybe one person in US. In that case, we can't take up that project because we can't pay that guy. See, that's again like outward ODI kind of payment, right? So those challenges are still there.
So those, do you actually get it via some as an employer and rapport with some company? Does he?
Yeah, we are doing some other route, but yeah, that's again going to add cost for us, additional cost. So we are doing things like that. Yeah,
Of course, our solution.
yeah. If I want to just engage somebody there, like just maybe that maybe $5,000 per month, but yeah, but actually that is going to help us to win the business. Actually, like doing 99% here, 1% there.
See, for you to take a flight and go every time is not feasible.
Yeah, not feasible. No, they want people there actually. Like some projects requires that. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
solution problem one, we already have a solution. Problem to let they get by, but I think it's already solved. That's why I'm saying that I think the government and the RBI both are listening to these use cases through different ways.
Okay.
And I'll also send you a link where it's a virtual call. So RBI I think the last Thursday of every month, it allows you to actually come and talk to RBI.
Oh.
Okay, tell them your genuine use cases.
Okay.
And based on that, actually RBI makes its mind. We generally think that probably nobody listens to us in this country. That's not true.
Okay.
They do that. There's haters who are
Actually.
listening.
Yeah.
They make up mind and say, okay, there are 10,000 companies like lakhs who could benefit.
I'm sure there are. Yeah.
When you told me the use case, I realized it is.
Because see, big company, they already have funds there, so they would just manage there. So for us, it is a genuine use case for us, and we lost few business like that. Though we would have got those remittance to India, the rest of it, but we were not able to win the business. So those are all genuine cases for small businesses.
This is good feedback. We work on this.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much for thanks. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sir. I think
Last actually. And I mean, I hope we're able to continue to serve you in other ways as well. So we will definitely solve this outward problem for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Lot.